everybody, and welcome back to Selena's Home Entertainment, where I, Selena, entertain you. Today's video, get your tortoise blanket out, get your snacks, get your drinks. I don't know. Today is just gonna be a nice, relaxing video and an overview of the year 2023 on this lovely YouTube channel, whether that's personal or on this channel. I would like to say hello to the new subscribers to my channel. Thank you for subscribing to this weird weirdo. And I'm very excited for new year, and I hope you're excited as much as I am. So on this channel, I mainly play video games, and I was wondering how I could incorporate like the ranking system as well as just like an overview overall over my channel, as well as just like my art. I know I've been having a little art block recently, and I've been slowly getting out of it where I'm drawing again and like being happy and loving art again, to the point where I feel great about posting it again and talking about it again. And stuff like that. If you haven't noticed already, yes, my art shop is no longer up. I really got in a rut, and I decided to get rid of it because I wasn't passionate about my art shop anymore, which is a sad thing. I also have a new mic, and I don't know how to use it, and I don't know how to set up my area now. I also wanted to let you guys know I have somehow found a way where I could use my iPhone as a webcam. You're probably wondering, oh, I might become a stream girl. Want to possibly stream in the future. So that is also in the near future, as well as hopefully I will be posting more of my art, whether that is time lapses or fun little videos of my art. I also plan on making little guys again. I miss making little figurines and stuff like that, and I think some of my characters I've created or I've drawn, I think would look really cool as a like a clay or polymer clay kind of sculpture where we learn together, because I don't know. If you guys recommend me any videos that I can learn from, whether using polymer or air dried clay, please let me know in the comments down below. I love learning, and I love watching art videos in general. But yeah, I think that's all the updates I have so far about my channel, because but it's me, and doing anything out of my comfort zone is very nerve-wracking. So no promises that this will happen, but I will try my best, as well as trying to play more indie horror games as well. I did not do my due diligence, as I said I would do with playing indie horror games. And my bad, broskies. I will be playing more next year. Hopefully to the point where I have separate lists when I do my rankings next year, where I have AAA games and indie horror games, so they're separated in the right categories, so I feel like they are fairly judged and ranked. But we are gonna start off with the ranking, the fun part of the video, I guess. First, we're gonna do my video games, which are the least. I have played in total 16 games. Amazing. Which is way more than last year, actually, surprisingly. But I hope this year, or in 2024, that in the upcoming year I can play a little bit more games, so the rankings can be a little bit longer, and just like stuff like that. I don't know. So for numbers 16, 15, and 14 are pretty much all in like the same kind of ranking. I couldn't really decide which one was like better out of the three, or which one was like worse. Them three were all in a spooky games kind of, I need to have like an actual official title for this, but in a spooky games video where I played through scary games. And number 16 is The Building. it was just not memorable. And the other two were Stark Test Assessment and Assessment Examination, which, if you can't tell by the names, they were examinations, so like tests and quizzes and stuff like that. And again, they weren't memorable. That's like the only reason they're down here is like they had the vibe, they had the spookiness to them, but the overall just like memorableness of the game, I've already forgotten them. And before I even get even further into my ranking, I want you guys to know this is my opinion. You can disagree, you can agree. I don't really care. I play these games. These are my opinions. I'm not dishing the game developer like, how dare you? Like, this is just my opinion. Like, I just didn't like them. I just didn't remember them. Like, I had to remind myself that I played these games. So, number 13 is The Prototype, which is this scary clown game that I played. And again, not as memorable. It had a bit more spookiness where I could like genuinely remember the game. But honestly, it was a lot of just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a lot of talking, less than like actually interacting with the said robot. And I feel like a lot of the stuff, like a lot of decision making, really had no choice in how the ending or how the outcome was going to end, anyways. Number 12 is The Open House, which I played, where you go in and look at an open house. I was looking at houses, and this game is kind of fun. I ain't gonna lie, and it was kind of like this like thing where it feels like, oh, something bad is gonna happen, or something seems off. And I did get a little lost near the end, I ain't gonna lie. And a lot of it just seemed a little weak near the end, to be honest with you. But it's a fun game. It's a fun little game to play if you haven't played it yet. But it's not as good as the other games I played this year. Number 11 is Andy's Apple Farm. The only reason it probably not higher than it should be is because I wish there was just more. If this game was so much more than it was, I think I would have probably put it up like higher. Um just cuz it was like a spooky game, and like the scares and the spooks just really added to the game in sense of like, should I be playing this kind of thing. Like, I haven't played Andy's Apple Farm in a while, but I can still remember it and still be like, oh yeah. But the only reason it is this low is because it's just like it's too short in my opinion, and I don't know, some of the parts just seem a little too long, or some of the games aren't as fun, that kind of stuff. It needs a little polish. It needs a little polish, okay? Number 10 is Arkham Origins. Are we surprised? I'm actually surprised it's higher on the list. I've pondered on maybe it being too hard on this game, or maybe I just played too many indie horror games to the point where Origins, I guess, looks semi okay. Brandon. Literally, Brandon wasn't in this game. I think this game would have been better. No, I think some of y'all know my gripes with Origins. I felt like it was just a chore to get through. I understand it was a small team making this game. Like, they probably did a lot more than they should have, in my opinion. And maybe I was just like, at that time, just tired of another Batman origin, or another just like origin in general, especially with like a big superhero, which the origin 3 million times over, to the point where like, what happened to the other superhero origins I don't know anything about. And I don't know, I just felt like it was weird, the timing of the game it came out, and it was just more of like, okay, this is kind of weird, but okay. And I felt like something like I felt like life was missing from the game, and I don't know. It was an okay game. Number 9 is Fears to Fathom Home Alone, which is episode 1 of their episodic horror story kind of thing that I plan on playing more in the future. Um, the reason why it's 9, not either lower or higher, is because it's kind of the nice. It's like it's just spooky enough where I did play it twice. No, 3 times or twice. I can't remember. So it's like the replayability is there and the memorable stuff is there. And I do like the art style a lot. It's just like I felt like the meat of the bones, like the story could have definitely pushed it a bit further, and it could have definitely been way longer than it was. And I don't know, I felt like something was missing entirely from the game. And yeah. Number 8 is Arkham City. I know she ain't higher, and that's kind of sad to be honest with you. Um, but the reason why Arkham City isn't higher is because of just like how short the actual main story is. Like, I think this was one of my shorter like series, and I was like legitimately surprised. But also, I love Arkham City, so I can sit down and play Arkham City for 3 hours straight and be okay, because I feel like Arkham City is the most playable out of all the Batman games. It's the most fun one. It's the most interesting one in my opinion. Even though the other ones, you'll know which one it is. But I really do love City. It has a special place in my little heart here because of the replayability it has and just the memorable. The only reason it's not higher is because I feel like some of the stuff hasn't aged well, and I felt like the main bits of the story just wasn't enough for me to make it go any higher. Number 7 is Discover My Body, which is in a separate video. And if some of y'all might know me. I love body horror. I love feeling weird and uncomfortable and just like downright like, ooh. I feel like that's like really the meat and bones sometimes of horror games that really get me pulled in. Plus the lore and like the story base and like the way you discover its body obviously is super interesting and super weird, and you gotta love it. I know the creator is like making like a full-fledged game, and that's the only reason why it's not higher. Because I wanted more of this. Like I wanted more like sciencey stuff and lore and just this weird, uncomfortable stuff that you're discovering. Like I would really, really like that. But number 6 is Miles Morales. That's right. I played Spider-Man Miles Morales before Spider-Man 2 came out, and I really do have a soft spot for it. I think it's a fun game for sure. I think the playability is there, but the reason why it's kind of in the middle, because I do have issues with the game in general. The main thing is, of course, the sneaking, which is like my main issue with Insomniac in general. I think they focus so much on the brute of combat and everything, which is fine. That's like a lot of superheroes in general. But if you're gonna add like stealth missions and sneaking stuff, I feel like you should work on it a little bit more to make it a bit more interesting. I like some of the characters. I mean, I like Genki. Who doesn't love Genki? But I didn't really like Finn, to be honest. I don't think they developed their relationship enough, in my opinion, to really like have a feeling for her. Number 5 is Whistleblower. That's right. Whistleblowers in top 5, okay? No matter how weird and uncomfortable this freaking game made me, I still had fun. Weird to say, I know. And it was still very much like, oh yeah, I'm gonna memorize this for the rest of my life. Am I gonna play it ever again? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've never a game hasn't made me feel that uncomfortable in a while. In a while. I was like, wait, I'm playing as a man, but I'm a woman. This is 10 times more uncomfortable. Number 4, Outlast. Obviously, Outlast was my meat and bones of another big series I had on this channel. I don't know why I loved Outlast so much, even though it scared me. My butt cheeks were clenched every 5 seconds, and we had the biggest technical difficulties with this gameplay. But at the end of the day, I still had fun. Am I gonna play it again ever? I don't know. If they remaster or remake it, I'll be there. Now we're in the top 3, baby. The piece de resistance. Number 3 is the Dead Space remake, remaster, whatever people want me to call it. It made me fall in love with the series. I've never fully played the first Dead Space game. or any of the Dead Space games because they terrified me when I was younger. Really did love it. I fell in love with it. No matter how angry I got and how many times it took me to defeat certain bosses, I thought it was like a really nice like challenge for me, and it was really fun and space horror, and I was like, I have never really played a space horror game. So it was just like a nice thing to have, and I hope there's more space horror next year. That. But 2 is Spider-Man 2. This was my most anticipated game of 2023 that I knew it would probably be in the top 3. Just because like I love Spider-Man, and even with all the gripes I had with the game itself and reading other people's gripes of the game and like complaints and stuff and like their updates coming eventually and stuff like that, I actually really love the game. I think about it, and there are some things that I don't like about the game in general. But the main chunk of the game, I love, like, you being just Spider-Man is just, like, it's so fun. And you find new little things every now and then when you play it again. And it's, like, it is genuinely so fun. Hello, future Selena here. As I was editing this and I looked at my notes, I forgot the one game that was also huge on my channel, and that was Arkham Knight, which Arkham Knight would be around the 3rd to 4th place probably, just because of the replayability, the funness of it all, and everything like that. And I do have a soft spot for Arkham Knight, but yeah, whoopsie daisies, LOL. Anyways, enjoy who's first place. Number 1 is God of War Ragnarok. Are we surprised? Yes, I did count it. Let me count it. I love God of War Ragnarok. It's a beautiful game. It's so goddamn fun. And I know the new DLC is out. I'm trying to stay spoiler free, but it's so hard sometimes with AAA games and like new content and stuff, especially God of War. It is so hard to stay away from spoilers, but I'm trying, guys, because I want to play it for you guys, especially since the DLC is free. Oh my god, like, amazing. Thank you. Like, that's cool. So I'm excited to see what the DLC is all about, and I'm very, very excited. And that is my ranking of all the games I've played this year. And now on to the art I've made. It's okay, guys. I only made 27 art stuff, which is actually significantly less than what I made last year. I'm actually quite disappointed in myself because I promised myself I would make at least 30 art pieces to this year, and I didn't even make the 30. And I'm gonna blame my art block on that. So I had a few series. I had the Moons series, which are planets, moons, different moons from planets. I had the Girl Scout cookies series. I had the season fairies and the unofficial Disney princesses series, as well as I did some Mortal Kombat characters, and I did colors, but as demons. Number 27 was Triton, which is Neptune's moon. Guys, look at it. It is, because I know I can do better than that, but I was trying to create her hair as like these different moons and stuff, and it just, every time, I just didn't turn out right, and maybe I just didn't do her face shape correctly and stuff like that, but like, it did not look good. Next up is Mimas, which is Saturn's moon. And again, I feel like I did the proportions way off. She ain't doing it. She ain't doing it. Number 25 is Elena of Alavor, which she is an unofficial Disney princess. She is Disney's TV. I call her TV princess. Like, she's only been on like Disney Junior, I think. She doesn't have any movies, which I think is a sham. But like, I felt like hers was just a little too off, and I don't know her enough to like know how to like kind of twist her in my way of like twisting characters. And I was researching her and everything, and I was just like, nothing was like hitting me, and I just kind of did whatever my mind thought, and that's what it was. And I was like, Number 24, did the Summer Fairy, and man, potential. That's what I always say. That's why she's a little higher than everyone's, because there's potential. Her wings just look like a third grader did it, and I couldn't think of an idea of what to do with her wings compared to her very detailed eyes and like her melty skin, which I loved so much doing. Like melting her skin was like such a cool part because it made it look like she was like as a melting popsicle in the summer heat. And that's what I was like trying to go for, and I don't know why I didn't continue that with like the wings and everything. So it was more like I can see the potential I have with her, but I wasted it. Number 23 is me as a clown. It's just me as a clown. That's it. 22 is Adventurefuls. I see the potential of what I was doing here, but the shading on her, you can't even see her. I was like, dang me, like let's add some like color to her, let me add something, but you can barely see her. I was so mad. I'm still mad at myself because like the hair looks amazing, her eyes look like so gooey and caramely. Like the caramel I did for her, I was like, yeah, but I couldn't do like a caramely skin tone for some reason. Sometimes me and skin just battle it out. Next up is caramel chocolate cookie. The reference photos I saw looked like a normal chocolate chip cookie, so that's what I did. And I really do like some of the effects I did with her. However, I do not love her. I look at her more and I'm like, there's something missing again. Number 20 is the peanut butter cookie. I had actual huge difficulty with either putting her up higher, just because I really do love her design. I love her goofy, like weird looking kind of body language she has. But a lot of the certain things that I did, like choice wise, I was like, oh. It was mainly the nose. I think the nose placement was wrong. Next up is 19. We're in the ones now, which is Lemonades. I love her. I don't care what anyone says. I love the creepy aspect of her and stuff like that. I love her eyes. Like the eyes took forever to like shade correctly and like look right. Number 18 is Melina. The reason why she isn't higher is because I feel like the proportions again are off from her, and I feel like I did her mouth too big, like too cartoonishy, to where that doesn't like match her eyes. And I had reference photos. I just couldn't proportion her mouth correctly to the way I wanted to, and yeah. Devora is number 17. Bottom half, amazing. I worked butt in tears. Reference photos after reference photos, babes. But the top half, I was like, oh, dang it. I was so mad at myself because like it generally looks like a really, like altogether, it looks like a really well made photo. And I did have difficulty because I kind of wanted to put her up more because I did really work really hard on her. I did. And I referenced a lot, and I like made sure everything looked kind of good in a way, but still had my style in it. It just like the top half, again, I think it was the eye placement, or I did my eyes a little too big, or where it didn't match every other proportion I had for her already. So I don't know, man. Number 16 is Kita, another unofficial princess. I love her hair, and the glow effect I did with her was stellar and amazing. We could use some work. We can use some cleaning up. I felt like I could have shaded her skin a bit better to make the glowing like look into her skin, but I do get a bit lazy when it comes to shading, and I'm just like, that looks good. She looks like she's in somewhat of a shadow. That looks good. Number 15 is Mint Green, which she is a demon lady, who's called Mint Green because she's the color mint green. Out of all the demon ones I did this year, she was my least favorite. And you can kind of tell how less passionate I was with her. It's just like the face just wasn't my usual face I go for. And I wanted to try something new, but like again, me and proportions, babes. We are fighting at odds here. Number 14 is Mirabelle. Again, she is another one who I wanted to put up higher, but compared to the other art I've done, I was like, 14 is pretty good. Because I really love her design. I love the candle taking over her and her becoming part of the candle. I think that's a really cool and creepy, but I felt like her face could have done some more work to either make it more creepy, or I could have added, like, I should have made her just fully waxed or something like that to really intensify the candle taking over her rather than just a few like wax everywhere. Number 13 is Baby Blue. Again, I felt like her chest area, I'm really bad with certain poses, makes like women look more muscular, at least when I draw them. And so when I try to do like my skinny arms and my witchy fingers and my like big ass head, sometimes it just doesn't look right. And I felt like Baby Blue was like a big indicator of like, hey, this don't look right. And plus her hair, I don't even want to talk about it. Number 12 is Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Loved it. That's it. She's she should have went higher, but she's at number 12 because I could have definitely done more with her. I could have made her extremely more creepy, and I did not push the boundaries. Number 11 is Lavender. Actually, a lot of people's fan favorites was Lavender, which I'm always surprised when people are like, oh my god, I love this. And I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, really? Out of all the stuff I've done, they're like, this is the one. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. I do like her, but I felt like, again, her face is so small compared to our body, and I'm just like, I can't. Me in proportions. Number 10 is the Spring Fairy. I had very much a hard difficulty putting her higher because of other art I've made this year, but as well as like she is detailed. This girl, blood, sweat, and tears. Um, to make her eyes look as depth as they are, and I love the hair I did for her. I was kind of unsure at first when I first like showed her to the world, I guess. But the more I look at her, the more I fall in love with her face. Like everything looks proportionate on her, where I was like, I was trying to recreate that again in every character because her proportions are beautiful, and it's just like everything was great. But she's top 10 for sure. Number 9 is Tinkerbell. I love Tinkerbell, and I love how creepy I made her, honestly. She has that weird creepy vibe that I really do love. But the only reason she's not higher is because I know I could have done more. I know I could have done more if I just pushed the boundaries a little bit, and but like also get my proportions right. Name proportions, man. That's gonna be half of them, aren't they? Number 8 is Eloise. Princess Elo. I can't ever say her name, but she's from Black Cauldron. One of my favorite movies as a kid. Yeah, I'm okay. But I researched her, and I forgot the Black Cauldron is based off a book, so I wanted to kind of incorporate the both, like in a way. But I read and saw that Eloise is actually a redhead, which would have been iconic. They should have kept the redhead. I kind of did that with like kind of like the witchy kind of thing that like the Black Cauldron has going, and I love her. 7 is Peach. She's a peach. That's it. Number 6 is Pink. She's an icon. She's a legend. It took forever to get that pose right, first of all, but also I love the color combo I did on her. I was like, I love it. She's so beautiful, in my opinion. I love pink though, so maybe I'm biased. Number 5 is the moon. Yeah, I did the moon, our moon, as an alien, and I fell in love with her. That hair took so long to get right, but at the end of the day, I love it. I love her one big galaxy eye. Like, I was just like, I fell in love with her. And I was like, this is it. This is my magnus opus. Magnus opus? Yeah. Number 4 is the Autumn Fairy. I was getting out of my art block rut, and she helped me. I love her. I love her. I love her. She looks like a scarecrow mixed with a fairy. It's just like, it's so creepy and ominous, and I love it. The shading, the color combos I did, I was like, dang, big brain up here. Number 3 is Europea. I love doing like the old school 60s kind of pinup things, if you guys can't tell. But she brought it to the park. She brought it. I fucking love her. And the color combo I did with her again was just like, it's all a beautiful masterpiece at the end of the day. Number 2 is Unicorn Girl. I don't know. I love her. My aunt was recommending me draw her. And I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll finally do it. But yeah. And I love the black with the few rainbow. I feel like it just adds depth and beautifulness. And I don't know. It's creepy enough, but it's also kind of cutesy in a way. And number 1 is the Winter Fairy. She is my ultimate favorite. I love her. For me, the Winter Fairy, I have proportioned right. I have the skinny neck with I love the whole aesthetic I gave her. Her wings, literally, that's why she's like top, is because her wings took forever. I was looking at so many snowflake references. My eyes started to hurt, but I did it. And I love the way I did her eyes and just like her hair and just like everything about her. She's so beautiful. She was made with love and care. And yeah, that's it of the ranking of all my art that I've did this year. I plan on doing a lot more physical media as well. So like actually drawing in my sketchbook, like actual like full-fledged things, as well as like sculpting. Like I said, I'm planning on getting air dry clay again and like making stuff again, because I really do miss it as an artist. Like sometimes you just miss making things. I don't have a goal of how much art I'm going to make, because I want to make sure everything I make this year is made with passion and love, and I don't want to rush into anything. Like I said, I'll be posting my time lapses on here, on YouTube at least, just because that's like easier, and I don't have to do any talking. You can just watch me draw. That kind of stuff, as well as like nothing's gonna stop. Like nothing's gonna change about gaming. Like I love gaming. I've always loved gaming. So I will definitely be gaming a lot more and drawing and just showing my passions again. That's 2024 is like passion for fashion, you know? Just being in love with your hobbies again, and I want to do that again and really just delve deep into it, and I hope you're on that journey with me. But yeah, here's to 2024, as well as be my 2 years on YouTube in January. So happy 2 years as well, as I cannot wait for whatever this year brings for me, for this channel, for my art, for all you guys. I hope you stay safe, you stay happy out there, you stay yourself. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Who cares about what anyone else says? As long as you're yourself, who cares? If they don't like you, Batman them. Stealth takedown, okay? I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of different from the rest of my content on my channel. We'll get back onto the video gaming and anything else new that I plan on doing for this channel that I hope you guys watch as well. And if you're new here and you've stuck around for my overview and my ranking of everything and seeing my art on myself, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever I post new videos. I hope you have a good day, good night, good wherever you are at this moment in time. And I'll see you guys in the fiery pits of hell. Ah!